Okay, I'm back, and I did want to show you one more time. Here's our geological time scale. And so this is a compressed version of everything that I've been talking about. So you might want to blow that up and then take a closer look at what's going on during all these different time periods. And so now what we want to do is go into the future. So this is one artist's rendition of what the Earth is going to look like 50 million years into the future. So if you look at North America and South America, you would say, well, things really haven't changed a whole lot. But if you look over in what's happening with Africa, you see that Africa has collided again with Eurasia, and so you have a mini supercontinent located there. Okay, so now let's go further into the future and see what things would look like. So this is going to be 250 million years into the future, and if you look closely, you can still see North America and South America, but they have been welded onto Africa and Asia. And you can still see that down there at the bottom, I believe that's Antarctica and Australia have collided. So given enough time, that's going to collide with the stuff that's already there, and we'll have another supercontinent. So supercontinents, they appear roughly every 500 million years, and then they break apart, and then they come together again. So they have a cycle of supercontinent formation and then destruction. Well, this isn't far enough into the future. So what's going to happen even further into the future? So we think that, for example, in about another 250 million years. So now we're going to go forward to about 500 million years into the future. Okay, the sun is going to begin to fluctuate in its brightness. Now the sun's still shining, but it's going to have more solar flares, and it's going to be giving off more radiation than what it is today, which could be a bad thing. Now the sun's going to stick it out for another 5 billion years. So 5 billion years into the future, our sun is finally going to start to run out of hydrogen. And then at that point, it's going to start to collapse because of gravity. It's going to heat up, and then the outer part of the sun is going to expand as the core collapses. And the outer part is, we think, will extend all the way to the orbit of the Earth. So is that a good thing or a bad thing? So that's pretty bad. So at this point, the Earth might be incinerated, but at least, at the very least, the oceans are going to be so hot that they're going to boil away. So long before this happens, we're going to have to evacuate the Earth, and hopefully we will be living on other planets in our galaxy by then. All right, so that's the ultimate fate of the Earth. And then, of course, the sun, the outer layer, eventually drifts off into outer space. We're going to be left over with a white dwarf in the middle of our solar system, and it's going to be very cold for the Earth at this point. So after being incinerated, now we're in the deep freeze. And then that white dwarf eventually cools off into a black dwarf, and then the temperature goes to absolute zero in a few trillion years. And, well, we can just keep going on and on with this, but the Earth, we're going to have to be off of it long before that happens. Okay, so let's take one last break, and when we come back, let's take a quiz over what you've learned.